flows from the Kings to the Ducks they go. Shout and go, Kings go! Our Quack they cheer. Our father and son, their passion sincere on the ice. Their love appears through the highs and lows in the years.
Good morning, hockey fans. And we thought we had this super exciting Stanley Cup Finals, and we're now hitting the offseason, and I think it's going to be just as exciting. Cody, what do you think?
I mean, we've already had a few trades happen. We got the draft coming up. Free agency is going to be right after. And since this free agency class is not the best, I feel like we're going to see a lot of trades this offseason. And I feel like we're going to see a couple offer sheets as well.
So I think it's going to be exciting. You know, I want to say, you know, the first season of Royally Quacked, when we went into the offseason, we didn't know exactly what to do. Last season, it went by so fast. Next thing I know, we had rookie camp.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to happen that way again. We have some really great things planned for you guys during the off season. So you want to stay tuned. Definitely want to stay tuned.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And we definitely have two big episodes coming up: the Ducks player grades and the Kings player grades.
Yes.
I'm excited about both of our teams that we've assembled for those episodes.
Yes. If we can we'll have to lock down the dates here soon.
I'm waiting for you to lock down yours, and then I'm gonna do mine right after.
Well, you know, it's like I'm probably on the 11th. If I do it, I have to do it from Palm Springs. I have to take my laptop and do it from the hotel room.
We'll figure it out later.
And then, you know, your sister's coming out, and we have your niece and nephew coming a little bit before they do.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I'm going to be off that week. I wonder if we could do it in the middle of the week or something.
We could do that as long as we do it after a time I can get off, or I could set everything up. We could do that.
Yeah, like
we'll talk about that after the.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here we are.
Hey, yeah, we're working hard for you guys.
Yeah, we are. It's if it all plays out, guys. It's an all-star lineup.
On both sides.
Take away me.
Well, yeah, that's a given. And I'm pretty sure Adam will chime in on that too.
Oh, well, he will. I don't expect anything less from Adam.
Yeah. All right, well, let's start with your Kings news first, because you have so much to talk about.
Well, when I wrote this, a trade didn't happen, but this is per Joseph Groves. Two players who would fit the Laviolette system would be Shane Wright and Michael Kesselring. Well, obviously, we know Kesselring got traded
to San Jose.
Yeah, to San Jose, which really gives them the opportunity to pick up another great forward if they wanted to, because they were looking for a defenseman.
Yeah, and they didn't give up much for him. Did you see what the trade? I mean, we'll talk about in the league news, but it wasn't a bad trade.
No,
this is a player that I wanted the Ducks to go get.
Yeah, because there was a trade also that happened. We'll do that in league news. I was shocked how little this team got for their player.
I think I know which one you're talking about, and there's a reason why.
Yeah, well, I know. We'll talk about that.
Yeah.
So anyways, two players. It's really only maybe Shane Wright now. The idea would be to get him, and this would be the idea that they're going to let Byfield take the 1C, let him lose it. Shane Wright could be the 2C. Guy who has really not been able to, I mean, he played better this last season than the first few seasons for the Kraken. But given that he would have the opportunity to play in the top 6 all the time, it might make him shine. I wouldn't be against that. So
You would have to trade for Wright.
I know.
Okay.
But he wouldn't be at too high a price.
No, it sounds like they're looking to trade him anyways. So
yeah. Now here's an interesting one, and I've heard it from multiple sources, so I'm not.
I have two. I have two.
Could Gavrikov return to the Kings? Now, he had a pretty good season. He had his best offensive season of his career in New York. But when he signed that 7-year deal with New York, it wasn't to do a
rebuild,
or even a possible maybe major retool. But
yeah,
there's a possibility he could return to the Kings. I mean, what I don't see is what can we give them for Gavrikov?
Let's see, does he have any trade protection?
I don't think he disliked playing with the Kings, but I think he went to New York because it has a very Russian.
Okay, so that, you know, he probably liked Laviolette as the coach. Or wait, was he the?
No,
Laviolette
was gone.
Okay,
yeah.
Well, maybe he wanted to play with Panarin, another Russian.
Yeah, and they have a great Russian community in New York.
Yeah,
and I think he wanted to, comfort zone, feel like at home. Be that helps you be what you can be when you feel at home. So
there is good news to the Gavrikov thing. He has a full no move clause. So he could just say, I'm going to the Kings, and that's it.
So we might get him for a deal.
Like you did with Panarin. But the only difference is Panarin was on an expiring deal, and he still has
6 years left.
6 years left.
Yeah.
So that's what could hurt, because they don't have to trade him and lose him for nothing. He has years left.
Yes, and true.
It's like the same thing that we've talked about with Larkin. Larkin has a no move clause, or no, sorry, he has a no trade clause.
He's got 3 teams you can be traded to.
Well, that's what we're going to talk about it in Ducks news as well. But like the Detroit Red Wings do not have to trade Larkin. The Rangers don't have to trade Gavrikov because they have years left.
Right.
So it's not like, oh, he's leaving, this is last year and he could just leave. He could leave for nothing. That's not going to hurt them. So,
and we'll just move on with Kings news. Since I didn't have so much, this has gone on a while.
Yeah.
Laviolette hasn't really finalized his staff, his coaching staff, and he's to meet with Newell Brown before deciding how to fill out his staff. My comment on that is get rid of him. Supposedly, he's worked well with Phil Housley. I think he had him in New York.
Yeah, he's had him in a couple places.
I mean, Hall of Fame hockey player. Whew.
Yeah,
I think I'd like that pickup.
No, I say keep Newell Brown. I think he should be like the new lifetime coach of the Kings. Like, I think he should be the successor to Laviolette.
I think, Cody, you guys should,
No,
you guys should. I'll tell you what, Newell Brown, you give us Leo Carlson, straight up deal. Let's get real.
That's tough. I'll really have to think about that.
You heard it here first on Royally Quacked. Newell Brown, Leo Carlson. Hey, we get our 1C. All it costs us is a terrible, terrible coach.
Yeah.
That's the end of Kings news.
All right. On the Duck side, we do have quite a bit. So first bit of news, the winner of the CHL David Branch Player of the Year Award is the Chicoutimi's Anaheim Ducks prospect, Maxime Massey. He had a huge year this year. I'm excited about this player. It makes me wonder if he's going to come up to San Diego this next year, and we can really see what he can do because he played very well this last year. I'm excited about him. I want to say this was his draft plus 2 year, I want to say, or draft plus 1. I can't remember. I'll have to look that up. But someone I'm really excited about, and hopefully, if he maybe goes to the NCAA and maybe sees against tougher opponents, and maybe a chance for him to, work out, get bigger, and then in San Diego for 1 or 2 years, and maybe he could be a surprise player for the Ducks in the next 4 or 5 years. So really excited about him. Ryan S. Clark reported, and it was also the Ducks that reported on their Twitter as well, that Troy Terry had surgery to repair his hip impingement and labral tear. Wait, the teal set. I don't know. I think you put this note in here because this was not me.
It's a tear.
It says teal. So, anyways, Troy Terry could return mid-November at the earliest, but it's more likely going to be Christmas probably that he'll return. So this is why, if you guys notice, like when the Ducks were reporting, like it was usually Zach Kavanaugh or Derek Lee or Patrick Present that would report like, oh, this person, was on the ice today, or this person wasn't on the ice, but, and it was always Troy Terry was not on the ice and had a maintenance day. Well, it was probably because they wanted him to really just not overdo himself with, the hip impingement and, labral tear that he had. So best wishes on Troy Terry on a speedy recovery. He already had the surgery. Everything went good. So it's going to be about 5 to 6 months of rehab until we see him come back. So it's going to suck, the first month and a half to 2 months and a half. We're not going to have Troy Terry on the team, but you never know. It could, we could have just a healthier Troy Terry. I hope he just takes his time coming back. I don't want him to rush anything. I'd rather him be fully healthy and playing than rush him back and then have a chance to get hurt again. So best of wishes to, Troy Terry on a speedy recovery. Next up, Racco Gudis is gaining plenty of interest reported from teams including Toronto and Florida, and that was per Kevin Weeks. It just makes me laugh that Toronto is one of those teams that's interested in him after what happened last season. So, the knee-on-knee hit to Matthews and knocked him out for the rest of the year. So, it really looks like, our whole right side is not coming back because John Carlson is headed to the market. His agent, Rick Curran, has informed the Anaheim Ducks general manager, Pat Verbeek, of that. Both sides have talked about a potential extension, but Carlson is moving on. In quotes, he said, "I've had discussions with Pat," Curran said on The Athletic on last Tuesday. "I told him how much John enjoyed his time here in Anaheim, but his preference is to return and play in the East, closer to family and the familiar." I can't say that word. I am so bad at English.
Familiarity.
Thank you. What he said, being back East. And Verbeek was naturally disappointed, but completely understood. Now that we look back at the trade, was it worth giving up a first-round pick for the Ducks situation for a rental player like John Carlson? At the time, I liked the trade, but now that I look at, there's like two ways of looking at it. Like, yeah, we wasted a first-round pick on a rental player when we probably shouldn't have really done that, because we could have used that first-round pick for bring in another asset, another trade, or just use the draft pick. So I wouldn't say his time here in Anaheim was bad. It wasn't, John Carlson's standard that I know he's 36, but he's also, I think, priced his way out of Anaheim, because from what I've heard is he's looking at a 2 to 3 year deal, looking at 9 to 10 million a year. And I'm sorry, I'm not paying a 36-year-old, almost 37-year-old defenseman who's already looked slow already. So that much money. So I'm okay with the Ducks not extending him and wasting that money. But giving up the first round pick for that is just where I'm like, we could have done a little bit better on that.
It wasn't worth it.
Yeah. It wasn't the right time to do a rental player deal for the Ducks. In my eyes. All right, next up. Also, per Elliot Freeman, he says it sounds like Jacob Trouba is also hitting the free agent market. There has been talks about a possible extension with the Ducks, but it seems like it's not working out with the extension, and it looks like he's heading to the free agent market as well. So now Gudis has interest from other teams. Carlson's probably, he already said he's leaving. John Carlson is leaving. And now Trouba's leaving. So our whole right side is now gone. Our top number one right-hand shot defenseman is, I would say, Ian Moore, even though they don't have him on Puckpedia. But I would say Ian Moore is number one, and you still have Hellison and Luneau. That cannot be our right side next year. I would say we're a wild card team at best, if that. So hopefully Verbeek, starts doing something, because like we already talked about the Michael Kesselring trade, because my dad was talking about how they wanted the Kings would be a perfect fit for him. I thought it would be a perfect fit for him to be in Anaheim too, and he wasn't going to cost that much to get, and he wasn't going to cost that much to retain as well. Next up, this is per Patrick Present, and this is what I would say. I love the idea, because we're going to talk about why this idea is good in the league news. He says, if the Ducks have no intention of re-signing Gudis, Trouba, or Carlson, would it benefit the Ducks to try to sign and trade them? That way the Ducks can get something in return, especially if these players want an 8-year deal. Of course, I think the only person that could get a long-term deal is probably Trouba, because he's the youngest out of the three. But it makes me wonder if, like, maybe there's a team's like, ooh, I want John Carlson. I don't want to have to fight for him at free agency. I'll give the Ducks a 5th-round pick or a 4th-round pick, and that way we know we can get him, and the trade works, and the Ducks at least get something in return. And the Ducks can always use those draft picks later to help build the team in a trade. Next up, per Jimmy Murphy, he's being told now that the Dylan Larkin camp is lukewarm at best on approving a trade to Anaheim. So it's not a hard no. It's not a hell no. It's a possibility. If the trade is right, I'm all for it. But if it's a huge overpay for a player like Larkin, I don't think it's worth it. Now, this next trade I'm going to talk about, this is the trade I would do in a heartbeat. And I know Mom's probably not going to like it, but I think this is the best thing for the Ducks. There was, per Darren Dreger, there was a big deal, I'm told, that was down the road, including Mason McTavish going to the Blues, and Robert Thomas and Colton Parayko could have been part of the deal, including Pavel Minchikov and Roger McQueen. I'm sorry, I'm excited for Roger McQueen, but if you get a center like Thomas, that could be a 2C for you. That is, because we don't know what McQueen's going to be. We don't know. And Robert Thomas, we already know, is a solidified center and someone that is a point of game player. He's young. He has a good contract already. And if he's a 2C, that's a perfect 2C for a Stanley Cup contender. and that's what we're trying to aim to be, because we don't know what McQueen's going to be. But if that's the deal, I'm doing that in a heartbeat, because you get a top right-hand shot defenseman to play with Lacombe, and you get someone to play 2C right behind Leo Carlson. I know people are not going to like this, but I love that trade. Next up, we also have mock trades that I saw. I believe it was on ESPN. So here's the first one. Anaheim Ducks get Colton Parayko. St. Louis Blues get the 2027 first-round pick and defenseman Stan Solberg. Again, I would do this trade if I was the Ducks. If I was the Blues, I would not do this trade. So I don't think that's enough to get Colton Parayko out, unless it's like for sure he wants to go to Anaheim and that's it. Next trade. Montreal Canadiens get Mason McTavish. Anaheim Ducks get right-hand shot defenseman David Reinbacher, a 2026 second-round pick, and a 2026 fourth-round pick. Again, I would do that in a heartbeat, because now if we do both those trades, Parayko is your number one right-hand shot defenseman, Reinbacher is your number two, and then you have Moore and Luneau that can switch off on the third pair. And now you have a top player like Parayko that can teach Reinbacher, Moore, and Luneau how to play, to be better NHL defensemen. Someone that they could learn from. So the only thing I don't like about this trade is we don't get a 2C out of it. But sometimes you need to build your defense first and solidify that. Because what was the Ducks' problem last year? Defense. We still have Granlund as a 2C, and we did pretty well with him at 2C, but our defense was horrible. So that's why I would say, yes, I would do those last three trades in a heartbeat.
Cool.
And that is it for Ducks news.
So on to league news.
On to league news.
Trade. The Philadelphia Flyers have acquired Joseph Wall and Simon Benoit from the Toronto Maple Leafs for Samuel Urson, Emil Andre, and a 2026 third-round pick.
From what I've heard is, I think Samuel Urson is an RFA, and they're not going to from the Maple Leafs aren't going to qualify him, so I think he might be a free agent. Because they already have Stolars and Hildeby. And I actually talked about this on Ducks Digest. I thought I talked about it on here. How the Ducks probably need to get a 1B goalie, a little bit better than Husso. And I was actually looking at bringing back Stolars.
That's not happening now.
Well, it's not happening now. Yes, that's true. Speaking of the Flyers and Dan Vladar are in ongoing talks for a 5-year extension in the $5 million AAV range, and that's per Kevin Weeks.
So they got Wall to be his backup?
It's probably going to be like a 1A, 1B thing.
Interesting.
It's honestly, and I think they just upgraded their goalies there.
And I think they needed to do that.
Yes.
The Vegas Golden Knights have announced John Tortorella will not return as head coach. The Golden Knights were 21-8-1 under Tortorella through their run to the Stanley Cup final. Should I just go on with the next?
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
Also, the Vegas Golden Knights have hired Ryan Craig as their new head coach. Craig was an assistant with the team when they won the Stanley Cup, actually from 2017 all the way to 2023, and was the head coach of the AHL Henderson over the last 3 seasons.
There was a lot of talks. I heard that if they don't retain Tortorella, that it was going to be Ryan Craig, no matter what.
So they must really believe in him.
Well, he's been with the team since the very beginning, so he knows the franchise in and out. And I think this is a good move for Vegas. And I'm a little shocked just because Normally Vegas goes out and gets the shiny new toy most of the time. And this time they actually they went with someone different. And it seems like Ryan Craig was their guy, because I feel like if they didn't do this move, maybe Ryan Craig was going to leave the franchise and maybe go find be a coach somewhere else.
Interesting.
Yep. Next bit of news. The St. Louis Blues announced the hiring of Greg Cronin and Vaclav Vinny Prospal as assistant coaches on multi-year contracts for the 2026-27 season. In addition, Elliot Mondu has been promoted from video coach to assistant to the general manager under Alexander Steen, and Jeremy Kupal has signed a multi-year contract to join the Blues as assistant coach. I'm sorry, but whenever I hear assistant to, it always reminds me of Dwight from The Office, because he was always normally it's assistant regional manager, but Steve Carell's character would always say like, no, you're assistant to the regional manager instead of assistant regional manager. Is assistant to. It's our Office fans. If you listen to this, you know what I mean. You get my point.
Okay, you had fun with that, didn't you?
Not as much I'm gonna have on my next one I'm gonna talk about.
Oh, okay.
And I think you'll laugh at that one too. Yeah.
Probably will. I already know what it's about.
Yep.
Nashville has acquired forward Ross Colton and goalie Isaac Posh from Colorado for their third-round pick, Colorado's 2027 third-round pick, which was acquired in another deal, and goalie Magnus Krona. So, obviously, Colorado's getting rid of a little bit of salary there.
Well, it seems like McFarland really likes Ross Colton.
Yeah, because he's over in Nashville now.
Yeah, and who brought Ross Colton to Colorado? McFarland. Who brought Colton to Nashville? McFarland. It's just funny how they made a deal after just breaking up about 2 weeks ago.
Yes.
Yeah. So, do you want to do this news, since
sure
it has to kind of involve someone that I've talked about many times on this pod?
Well, this next one is proof that miracles do happen. Toronto Maple Leafs have hired ex-LA Kings coach Jim Hiller as their new head coach. Who'd have thought that would happen?
I am speechless. I don't know what they're doing. Like the next move we're going to talk about in a bit, I get that move, and kind of. But I think there was better coaches available than Jim Hiller.
Well, there was something, obviously. I mean,
maybe Austin Matthews and Nylander are like, yeah, let's do this.
Well, Neil Brown keeps getting jobs, so
yeah, but not as a head coach.
No, but he's a terrible assistant coach.
Yeah, and I think you guys all agree that Hiller was a horrible head coach, but he was a great assistant coach. So, all right, we'll move on, since we did talk about this in the Kings news and a little bit of Ducks news. Buffalo trades defenseman Michael Kesselring and a first-round pick that's number 27th overall to San Jose for Buffalo's first-round pick that's 20th overall, and that's from Edmonton. So it was pretty much Kesselring goes to San Jose, and let's see, I'm trying to figure out. And Buffalo's first round pick, that's 20th overall. I'm trying to remember. All right, Kesselring. So pretty much all San Jose does is they get Kesselring and only move 7 spots back in the draft, and Buffalo moves up 7 spots.
I think they made a great trade.
That, I'm going to say this. how is the Sharks general manager not been up for GM of the year? There's some of the trades that he's done where I'm like, why isn't Verbeek doing this? Like, he got a steal on the Askarov trade. I mean, he got 2 first-round picks from 2 different teams for Jake Wallman. Because Wallman was in Detroit. They sent the Sharks Wallman and a first-round pick to San Jose, and then San Jose traded Wallman to Edmonton for a first-round pick. Like, the moves that he is making, it's Mike Greer, I want to say is his name.
Yes, I think you're right.
I think what he's doing in San Jose is great. I love the moves he's making, and he's making moves. And yes, that is a little bit of a shot at Pat Verbeek right now. Yeah.
Okay. It's about time for this one. The Boston Bruins to retire Patrice Bergeron's number 37 next season. You know,
yes, this is like, it should have been done the very first home game.
When he retired, it crushed me because nobody would pick him up. And I'd get him like in the 3rd or 4th round, and he would always outperform what he did before. I miss him in fantasy hockey.
All right. I'm going to ask this question. Do you think Kopitar would have been more well known if him and Bergeron switched spots?
Oh, absolutely.
Just because of the East Coast bias and being on original 6 teams.
Yeah.
Because
I mean,
they were pretty much the same player, and I think Kopitar even had better numbers.
Well, I want to tell you something. We're talking generality there because a lot of people back east don't pay attention. But all the hockey people, they all know. They all know how good Kopitar was.
No, they do.
You know, I mean, but you're talking fans, general. I mean, maybe even some of the writers, because they wouldn't stay up to watch him. But when you talk about the general managers or the coaches, you know, Kopitar had everyone's respect. He was an incredibly respected player, and you know, and he played that 200-foot hockey as good as a lot of. I shouldn't say better than anybody ever, but he's one of the better ones for sure.
So I'm not going to say who's who. Player A, 1,521 games played, 452 goals, 864 assists for a total of 1,316 points. Player B, 1,294 games, 427 goals, 613 assists, and 1,040 points for the Nat player.
1,040?
1,040.
Obviously, the first one.
Well, who's who?
First one was Kopitar.
Yes.
Second one was Bergeron.
Yes.
Yeah, I you know.
It makes me wonder if Kopitar would have had more Selke trophies if he was a Bruin.
That is probably would be true.
Like, nothing against Bergeron. I would take him on the Ducks in a heartbeat. Even now. Like,
yeah.
You'd be like, hey, you play behind Carlson, teach him how to win faceoffs. Thank you.
Yeah.
So
now, I think the one thing he was better at than Kopitar was faceoffs.
I don't think I could look that up on Puckpedia.
But I don't know that for a fact. But that's what I would think.
Well, this is the one thing I did like about when Bergeron retired. They asked Alexander Barkov how he felt about the retirement. And you know what Barkov said?
Yeah, maybe I can win a Selkie.
No, he said, oh, that too. He's like, my face-off percentage will go up.
Yeah. Yeah. I actually do remember him saying that now. But Hall of Famer.
Yes.
They need to retire his number.
No, I agree.
I totally respect that. He was one of my favorite players that wasn't on one of my teams.
He's someone that he could be your rival team, but you like the player. Like me. Like I said, Ducks and Kings, rival teams, I love Kopitar. He's someone that you just can't hate.
Yeah. Well, like Solani.
Yeah, again, yes, exactly.
I think everybody likes Solani.
Yeah, like for me, I mean,
he was just
I don't think
nice
there's anyone
guy.
I don't think there was anyone that hated Kopitar. There's probably no one that hated Bergeron.
Well, the one thing I think Solani had over Kopitar was
a bubbly personality.
Well, the outgoing personality that he had. Yeah. He is just someone that people would be totally attracted to listening to.
He's a golden retriever.
Yes.
And Anze Kopitar is a black cat.
I'm not going to say that.
Okay, so it's like a thing where they're saying like usually they're like your personality is either you're a golden retriever or a black cat.
Okay.
I'm a golden retriever. My wife Christina, she's a black cat, and she'll even admit that.
So what am I?
You're a golden retriever, Dad.
Okay. What's Mom?
I don't know. Mom's like a mixture of both.
Okay. All right. Interesting.
All right, we'll move on. All right, Capitals extend their coach Spencer Carberry to a multi-year extension, which I would say well deserved.
So now this is what we were talking about a little earlier about, hey, I would have done this. No doubt in my mind, I would have done this.
I wouldn't have done this.
You wouldn't have? Maple Leafs acquire Darren Radish from the Lightning in a sign and trade. Now he does get he's like 30 years old, I think.
Yep. So
it takes him to 38. But hey, some of these defensemen can go. I mean, look at Burns. He's still going. He gets an 8-year, $8.5 million contract, and Tampa Bay receives a 5th-round pick. I just thought it should be more.
So
it's because he finally blossomed at a later stage.
So yes, his first year in the league, 4 games, no points. Second year it was 22-23. So he didn't come into the league till he was 25 years old. 22-23, 17 games, 1 goal, 2 assists, 3 points. 23-24, full 82 season, 6 goals, 27 assists, 33 points. 24-25, 73 games, 6 goals, 31 assists, 37 points. This last year, 73 games played, 22 goals, 48 assists for 70 points. Now, not consistent, and I feel like
you're thinking that was a career year.
It's a career year, yes. I wouldn't have done, and I talked about him, like maybe the Ducks possibly getting him on the in the open market, but it was just an idea. I don't think he's worth the full 8 years, $8.5 million. But Toronto wanted a right-hand shot defenseman, and now they have a lot. One that he goes until he's 38.
Yeah.
If I was the Ducks, I'm glad they didn't do this trade or this extension, because I don't know. He doesn't have a long Brent Burns. He has a resume. You know what you're getting from Brent Burns, even at 48 years old, whatever he is now.
I don't think he's that old.
I know.
43, 44.
Yes. But I don't know. I just feel like he's a big candidate for a huge regression year.
Yeah.
And now you overpaid for him for 8 years.
And he doesn't fit their age factor for
I wouldn't
where
say
they're at right now.
Yes and no, because like Nylander's around that age, Austin's around that age. I know they're trying to trade Morgan Riley, and I know he's around that age too. It's just, I'm glad the Ducks didn't do this, and and Tampa all they received was a 5th-round pick, and they got, and I think the main reason why he was there is because the power play with, when you have your Hart Trophy winner like Nikita Kucherov,
Braden Point,
and maybe Radish is the number 1 defenseman in Toronto, because after Hedman came out, Radish took over as being the number 1 defenseman, and maybe that's how he blossomed. But also, I would say Lightning are a lot better than Toronto. They have a better coach, better system. They have a Hart candidate almost every year with Kucherov.
Yeah.
And maybe better defensive help too with, they had Moser. They also have, what's the other guy's name? I know they have a couple other like good defensive defensemen there too. And he got to learn from Hedman, someone that could be a Norris candidate most of his career. So I guess I don't, good on Toronto. If they want to make the move, do it. I'm glad the Ducks didn't do this trade in extension. So, all right, next up, multiple teams are exploring a trade with Buffalo Sabres involving Boehm Byram, per Darren Dreger. I know this is something that you've talked about for the Kings to get.
Yeah. I always liked him as a player. I just don't know. We have to be careful with giving something away when we don't have enough as it is. That's the sad thing about the Kings. We got some really talented players, but then it really drops off. Or we got to hope some of these young guys come in and blossom.
It's not like you could trade a goalie to them because they already have like 30 goalies on their roster.
True. I'm not sure we're ready to make that move just yet, but we'll see. Well, finally, the league has completed its review of Mike Babcock's tenure in Columbus and of certain alleged conduct associated therewith. Our investigation has concluded that even in a light least favorable to Mr. Babcock, there is no current basis to restrict his employment in the league. Boy, that's a lot. That's a lawyer written thing right there.
So that was from the NHL one.
Yeah. What that sounds like is,
you can keep reading.
Yeah. That's going to clear the way for him to coach again. And the Edmonton Oilers were the ones that are expected to hire him as their new head coach. What I don't know, does he still have it? Because he obviously at one time was an outstanding coach, and he's got a lot of victories under his belt. But is he that guy, or is he this guy who wants to spy on his players?
I don't think he's going to be doing that again in Edmonton if he is hired there. And maybe they just need a coach that could just give him a kick in the ass. Woodcroft wasn't that coach. Knobloch wasn't that kind of coach, and maybe that's what they need.
It's funny is a lot of the coaching hires have been a little surprising.
What was it? Oh, Hiller, Babcock.
Yeah.
What was the other one?
Craig.
Not one I understand a lot more.
I'm just saying they're taking a big chance on a guy who hasn't been a head coach in the NHL.
No, I get that, but I think what stands with Craig being different than the others is he's been with the system. He knows the players. He's coached there since 2017 when Vegas was first started. So he knows the system in and out. It's not like, Craig was, the Henderson Silver Knights AHL coach for the last 3 years. Then he goes to coach Columbus. A whole different franchise, a whole new system. Ryan Craig has been with the system with Vegas, and I think that's what makes it better.
Maybe he's the next great head coach then.
You never know.
Well, you got to, if you're not given a chance, how can you expect to succeed? Somebody has to take a chance on you.
Yeah. All right. Next up, the Winnipeg Jets are listening to trade offers on Connor Hellebuck, per Darren Dreger and Elliot Friedman.
That would
all right.
be
I have a trade. And I know some people are not going to like this. McTavish, Dostal, and a first-round pick for Hellebuck.
How old is Hellebuck?
Let's see. Helps if I spell it right. Hellebuck is 33, has 4 years left. Sorry, 5 years left, and an $8.5 million cap hit.
I mean, he's underpaid for how.
Well, no. Okay, but we're talking about. Okay.
Oh gosh, I knew that was coming.
We're talking about the guy that made one of the greatest saves ever. That won USA gold. He's a Hart Trophy winner. He's won multiple Vezina trophies. Now here's the thing. Winnipeg play a very good defensive style game. And maybe that's why he does very well there. I don't know if it will work in Anaheim.
So are you saying you would do that trade? You didn't say that. You said you came up with this trade.
Yes.
You didn't say you would support it. I could tell you what I do.
All right. Would you do the trade?
No.
Okay.
Why? I go older. Chances of him diminishing in his play is where you have a young guy who's probably going to get better, especially if you give him some defense players. I think rather than getting the best goalie and what 3-time Vezina Trophy winner, right? You get him some defensive help because I think Dostal. I mean, he proved it. Not as much this year, but the year before, didn't he take the most shots of any goalkeeper in NHL that year? And
it was a couple of years ago.
He did. He looked fantastic on a lot of that. I think I would want to take my chances to have him, Leo, Cutter, this young group all just go and compete together than I would do to make that trade. I mean, that just now, granted, as a Kings fan, make the trade.
Okay.
Just saying. That's how I feel.
All right.
Okay, so 3-time Stanley Cup champion Jonathan Toews announced his retirement on Friday, ending his playing career with 1,149 regular season games and 137 playoff games.
3 Stanley Cups.
And he came back, what? Did he play just this 1 year?
Just this 1 year. He played because he's from the Winnipeg area. I think he grew up as a Jets fan.
Oh, okay.
So that's why he went to Winnipeg.
Perfect.
So, congratulations on Toews. Hell of a career. I hated you in the 2010s, but I respected your game. You know, of course, I just didn't like the Chicago Blackhawks during that time. Still don't. But I respect the players on the team. I just hated losing to you guys multiple times in the playoffs.
Yeah, we lost to them too.
Not as much as we did.
Yeah, we also
especially the one year where we were the favorites to probably win the Stanley Cup in 2015. The Ducks should have won in 2015. If they get past Chicago, it's because they were saying whoever won the West was winning the Stanley Cup. So, all right, next up, Adam Foote, after being relieved of his duties as the head coach in Vancouver, has been hired as an assistant coach with the Utah Mammoth.
Okay. That's good.
Mm-hmm.
Pierre LeBrun reports that the Boston Bruins are listening to trade offers for Pavel Zacha.
Okay.
I like Zacha.
Let's see what Zacha. What's his? Nope, that's Parise. I said Zacha. So he is like 29, 1 year remaining at $4.75 million. Last year, 78 games, 65 points. Not bad. I mean, he'd be like a good like middle six center.
Yeah, actually, I like the way he plays. Whenever he's played against the Kings, you know, I've watched. I've been impressed with how he plays. He plays hard.
Yeah.
I like him. I'm not saying we'd get him, but I like him.
All right. We have two more. I know that I have one more I just saw on my phone. So the Winnipeg Jets have been linked to Vegas Golden Knights goaltender Aiden Hill and Canucks forward Jake DeBrusk. And with the Jets being linked to Aiden Hill, where did I get this from? Aiden Hill has been heavily linked to Vegas, and it sounds like something's gearing up to do something big, and they believe that Vegas wants Hellebuck.
Yeah, I could see that. I mean, they've got an older group of players. He fits that older group. It gives them that window. I mean, he's definitely a step up from anybody they've had.
Yeah, let's see.
Big step up.
Aiden Hill has 5 years remaining at $6.25 million. I think Hart's on a very good deal. $2 million? Yeah, $2 million. I just don't know if Vegas can handle the cap because they only have $4.625 million in cap space.
Well, they would make,
and they still have to sign Riley Smith, Colton Sissons, Pavel Dorofeyev is RFA, possible offer sheet candidate, Cole Smith, and they only have five defensemen signed. Or actually, they actually have a little bit more cap space because Pietrangelo is still on LTIR, so they can just use his $8.8 million cap hit and bury it.
He's not coming back.
No. It's a shame.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, so last bit of news. Nick Delorier has signed an extension with the Carolina Hurricanes, 2 years at $875K AAV. Stanley Cup champion, Nick Delorier.
Yeah.
Former Duck.
Yep, former Duck.
Yep. All right, and then before we move on to, talk about the Stanley Cup final and everything, let's do a quick ad read. You want to start or want me to start?
I'll start. It all comes down to this: a best-of-7 battle, and DraftKings has you covered every step of the way. The DraftKings Sports app is now available in all 50 states and includes all markets.
Sweat every shift of the series, all in one place, with one app. New DraftKings customers sign up with the code THPN, spend $5 and get 200 in rewards within 21 days. That's code THPN in partnership with DraftKings. The crown is yours. Bet with DraftKings Sportsbook.
A sportsbook. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 1-800-MY-RESET. New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. Connecticut, call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino in Kansas, bet text pass-through may apply in Illinois. 21 and over. Void in Ontario. Event contract trading with DraftKings predictions involves risk of loss. Sportsbook bonus bets expire in 7 days. $50 in predictions dollars issued weekly for 3 weeks expire in 1 year. Redeem one non-withdrawable reward. Availability varies. Predictions offer void in New York. Ends June 28th. Terms at dkng.co/audio.
Need to read it?
What?
I didn't hear anything.
It played on my end.
Okay. Oh, okay.
That's all that matters.
Okay.
So, all right. Now we'll talk about the Stanley Cup playoffs. And I'm very happy how it turned out. I guess we can all say that.
Everybody but Vegas fans.
Oh, boo-hoo. Why won't it let me go to NHL League? There we go. Let's see. Scores.
I'm already there.
Okay. Let's see. The last one we talked about was... Which one?
I think we were just doing the last game.
Was it?
That was on Sunday.
Oh, yeah. So it's just, that one game. You want to go ahead and start talking about it?
Yeah, well, let's get to the scoring. In the first period, Taylor Hall gets his 7th from Slavin his 5th, and Blake his 13th at the 3:47 mark, and Carolina's up 1-0. And that was all of the scoring in the first period. Then in the second period, Jackson Blake gets his 7th from Stankoven his 5th at the 13:31 mark, and Carolina's up 2-0. Boy, they just balanced it out for 3 periods. There was a goal in each period. Nikolai Ehlers gets his 8th unassisted on an empty netter at the 18:52 mark. Carolina wins the game 3-0 and gets their second Stanley Cup. Last one in 2006. So 20 years it took for them to win their second Stanley Cup final.
Let's see if I can find. Where is he? And this was the only game in the Stanley Cup final where now reigning Conn Smythe winner Eric Stahl, or was it Eric Stahl?
Jordan
Stahl. Sorry, I know there's too many Stahl brothers. Won the Conn Smythe Trophy. He wasn't even close to being a Conn Smythe winner until they got to the final.
He scored a goal in every game, but about the last one.
Yep, all of them but the last one. And he had a 70% face-off percentage in the playoffs. 70.
I had him on my fantasy team.
Yeah, you're no longer allowed to play fantasy.
Okay. I'll sit back and be commissioner then.
Sure, you can do that. I'll let you handle that. But congratulations to the Carolina Hurricanes. Now, Rod the Bod Brindamore becomes the 4th coach in NHL history to captain a Stanley Cup as a player and coach the same team to a Stanley Cup. Crazy. And well-deserved. And I don't know if you knew this. So I guess for the last 5 years, Rob Brindamore had the players, like when they were working out, lift this like cinder block at the end of the workout. Like lift it over their head like this. And I guess the main reason why they did that, and he never told the players why.
Lifting the Stanley Cup.
Yeah, it's because the Stanley Cup weighs about 35 pounds. and that center block weighed around 35 pounds. So it was to get the players used to, after working out and everything, to be able to. He did it for 5 seasons. I think eventually he told the team why they did it, but I mean, that's pretty clever. It's some like Mr. Miyagi stuff right there.
You know something weird today? Have you noticed something that's weird?
What? No Adam?
No Adam.
Yeah.
Maybe he's playing today.
Yeah, maybe. Or maybe he's just sleeping.
Possibly.
Yeah. Let's see. What else is there to talk? I mean, we have the draft coming up real soon. I believe that
Next week.
Is that next Friday?
I think so.
Ooh. Toronto is on the clock, but now their new head coach, Jim Miller. I'm sorry, I can't believe they did that. Let's see. Now it all depends. Now, do the Sharks trade their number 2 pick? Do they keep their number 2 pick?
That's a good question. And I think that would vary onto what they could get for it. And if it fits into some of the holes they think they have.
Defense.
Well, they got Kesselring already. I mean, they may still go, because it was Chase Reed, I think they were kind of looking
I heard
at.
Chase Reed. Now, I also heard, since they got Kesselring, that they might just go and get Stenberg.
Rich get richer and the poor have kids. Oh, my gosh. I mean, that's another talented young person for them. They've got a lot of that.
Mm-hmm.
It's scary how much young talent that the Sharks have. I think look out if they make the right choices.
Yeah.
And we never know what injuries are going to do and everything else. And I mean, who really anticipated Carolina winning it this year? I mean,
we know what happened 20 years ago when Carolina won. What happened the very next year?
The Ducks won.
The Ducks won.
I had to think about that for a second. Well, you never know. I mean, the Ducks got a lot of young talent. If they make some of the right moves, they could really improve themselves. I don't think Hellebuck would be my choice of a pick on that one if I was you guys.
Yeah.
I think Parenko would be good.
Thomas.
Well, Thomas would be good. I mean, but Thomas they want a lot for him.
Well, I know his preference is to stay west. And if I remember right, I forgot who reported it, but they were saying at the trade deadline, he was willing to go to either Anaheim or LA. Because I know he has, let's see, Pareko.
All I got to tell you is the Kings need him far more than the Ducks too.
He has a no trade clause.
I don't think he's going anywhere. Thomas. Now, Pareko.
Thomas, yes. I think he's staying in St. Louis.
I think so.
Pareko, I think they're trading him. And it really sounds like McTavish is on his way out.
Sure sounds that way.
I've heard nothing but leaks about him. It's a lot. Philly, Montreal, Ottawa. There was another one I can't remember at the top of my head. Blues were another one that wanted him.
Yeah.
It's a lot of rumors, and they were saying, I'm just waiting for them to say it's a matter of when, not if. I just hope it's the right trade for the Ducks.
Well, yeah. Sometimes they look like the right trade and they're not. Or the right free agent pickup and they're not.
And they said this on Crash the Pond, which is another Ducks podcast, and I think, and I really agree with them. I feel like Verbeek traded the wrong young center. I think McTavish should have been the one traded, and they should have kept Zegras. With this system under Quenneville, I think this was a great system for Zegras. And it fits his game better than McTavish.
Yeah, but don't you think Quenneville okayed the trade?
I don't know.
There had to be a reason why. Don't ask me what that is. I don't know. I can see what you're talking about, and I understand it.
Yeah.
But obviously mistakes made. I mean, I can only look and see all these Kings players that we drafted that some of them never even played a game for us that are playing. Middleton over in Minnesota, Cernak in Tampa Bay. I mean, all these guys who have had, some decent careers, pretty good players, and they never played a game
There's
in a Kings uniform.
Dursey, but he played some with the Kings.
But Dursey,
McNabb.
Well, McNabb, yeah. I mean, that got talked about. Eddie talked about that on Locked On Kings. I've been doing my catch up because I hadn't been listening to Eddie for a while. And, once I start listening again, I go, how come I let that happen? Because he's just a wealth of knowledge. It knows his hockey so well. Not to mention, I just love listening to him. He just presents as good as anybody in the podcast world. But, who would have thunk that McNabb would still be at Vegas? I mean, he's been a good player for them, but he's not been a great player for them. He's been a good player, and you need good players.
Yeah.
Your good players are sometimes the guys that win the Stanley Cup for you. I mean, Jordan Stahl is no superstar. He's a good player.
Yeah.
He won the Conn Smythe.
Yeah.
I mean, Suzuki is their superstar, right?
Yeah. I mean,
and he really didn't stand out.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like I said, it's, a lot of times you just get big games from big people. I mean, I look back when the Kings won it in 2012. Kopitar was our best player, but look at all the guys that contributed. You had all those guys. It was a full 4-line group that won that Stanley Cup.
Yeah.
Justin Williams, not a superstar. But I tell you what, if I'm playing in the Stanley Cup, I want Justin Williams on the ice for me.
Yeah. I didn't know. The St. Louis Blues have 3 first-round picks this year.
Yeah.
3 first-round picks. 11 overall, 15th overall, and 29th overall.
It's funny is Jesse was talking with Mark Yannetti, head of scouting for the Kings. And he asked him, he goes, would you ever like it where you had like 5 first-round picks? And he said, no. He goes, because you're not going to win with 5 picks like that. You're just not. I mean, they're spread out. You gotta make every pick count. He goes, I'd rather have like 2 picks over like 3 years than 5 picks in 1 year. 2 picks each.
I think this is the year we actually probably get a lot more trades in the first round than we normally do. Like last year, I don't think we had 1 trade in the first round. But someone like St. Louis, they can trade 2 of their first rounders and really move up in the draft if they really wanted to.
So if you were San Jose, would you take 11 and 15 for 2?
I don't think if I was San Jose, I would drop that far down. I think they would like to stay in the first round.
Well, that is in the first round.
I'm sorry. I meant like in the top 10. Sorry. In the top 10. Sorry,
Well, what
I meant for like that's what I meant.
Well, when Yannetti talks about the scouting, he goes, you have tiers. He goes, one reason they traded down to get Brustevich is because they figured he would still be there at 31. And I think they traded, 21? Moved down, and then they were able to get another pick or 2 picks out of it.
Yeah.
So, and they got the quality they want. And he talks about he'd rather trade down than trade up. I mean, and he goes in a rarity to get that right player, you might trade up. But I would bet the Kings are still possibly going to trade down again if they think they can get the same kind of player because of those tiers. They rate all the players by tiers. I mean, those guys are probably working, 60 hours a week now, going through just making sure their tiers are all right. And this is, hey, if we trade the 17th and we get 20 and then we get a second, they say 54th, the guy that at 17, we get whatever I said, the 22nd pick, we get a guy similar to him. Plus we get that 34th pick. Let's do it.
Yeah. The Ducks and Kings have back-to-back picks in the draft.
Not in the first round.
Well, yeah. It's technically the Ducks' position, but Washington has the pick.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, for Carlson.
Yeah, because of Carlson.
Yeah, I knew they were back-to-back. So you're going to see them. We'll see what happens with that. So it's going to be interesting. I'm looking forward to see what the draft happens. And, I don't have high expectations of us being, maybe even a playoff team. I mean, it could change with what we do. Maybe Holland will make some magic and we'll get some players or some picks and stuff that come to fruition for us. We'll see. I mean, you guys have to be excited because you have a really strong young nucleus with, those veterans in key spots. Of course, Terry's out, and then I'm trying to think of this. Isn't he Swedish? The Swedish center Granlund.
He's Finnish.
I mean, that was a great pickup.
Yeah,
I was hoping the Kings would get him last year, and you guys got him. I like him.
I was skeptical I've liked Granlund. I was skeptical about the 3 years times 7, but he really proved me right this year. Or proved me wrong. Sorry.
Yeah, I was going to say
in a good way.
You're right.
Yeah, sorry, proved me wrong in a good way. So I'm happy with Granlund. Now, I don't see him being our, because he only has 2 years left. I don't see him being. I hope he's not our 2C this next year. In all respectfully to Granlund, he's not a 2C. He's not a second line center. Second line winger, yes. Second line center, no.
Well, you guys have assets to be able to improve your team.
Yes, and please, Pepper, please sign Carlson and Cutter, Mintikov and Zellweger to extensions soon. I don't want it to be like last season or the season before or whatever. We're doing the whole Ziegler, Drysdale, and McTavish thing. We can't do that.
That seems to be how the Ducks did business. I agree with you.
The only one that's different is Lacombe. They got Lacombe done and over with. 8 years times $9 million, and everyone, non-Ducks fans, were like, "What are they doing?" And I was like, "Perfect, yes." And now look at the year he had. Look at the playoff. I mean, yeah, he wasn't very good in the second round, but look what he did in the first round. 6 games, 10 points as a defenseman.
Yeah, he was one of the players on that list that we could have picked up instead of the guy we got.
Yeah, I remember when you did that.
We could have picked him up. There was a whole bunch. That was what, was that 19 draft?
Yes. That was
I
the
mean,
draft, yes.
you talk about us being really good and us being where we're at kind of draft.
Yeah.
We lost out like on 5 players. If we would have just picked smarter, that we would be so much better right now.
I still think, and I know why you guys did it, but I think what hurt you guys the most was trying to get back into the playoffs too soon. I know that's not what Dowdy and Kopitar wanted, but for the long time,
No,
you guys should have been bad at least for at least one more year.
I agree, Cody. But you want to win, and you want to win now.
But now just look at the difference between the Ducks and Kings. They were both bad around the same time. And you guys have made the playoffs 5 years in a row, but haven't gone the first round. And you have really no prospects left to really trade, other than your goalies. I would say are your top players. You have, and you have Bruce Stevich.
Yeah.
You because you traded away your other top prospect, but you brought in Panarin.
Yeah.
That's a good trade. You brought in someone for another couple of years in a win now window, but it was a Green Tree. Thank you. I couldn't think of his name.
Yeah.
But if you guys would have been bad for 1 or 2 more years, that's another, and if you guys do your trades right, possibly another 3 to 5 first round, second round picks.
I and I understand that, and one thing I know they really pride themselves on is how well they do later in the draft. Obviously we saw Matt Roy get a pretty good contract. Middleton is over in Minnesota. They got really high hopes for Jared Woolley,
7th rounder.
And I think what did he win with London, and they traded him to Kitchener? Was it Kitchener?
I thought that was that Woolley? Jared Woolley.
So what I'm saying is that they're making a lot of their bets on the
Kitchener. Yeah, he went to Kitchener. Yep.
Yeah, and they won.
Yeah.
The Calder. So and he was
the
buddies with Bruce Stevich. They were line mates on London.
They won the Memorial Cup, not the Calder.
Memorial Cup. Yeah, sorry. Calder's a trophy.
Well, he's won the OHL championship 3 years in a row.
So, we do have some possible talent. It hasn't really come totally through. A lot of times they go with that longer 5 to 6 year plan. Where people, and I'm hoping Byfield's that guy this year. And
what's Bruce Stevich's first name?
Henry.
Thank you. There it is.
He'll be playing in the AHL this year.
Oh, it says he's already played with the Reign.
Well, I think he came up and played a few games with them. So did Carter George, and so did Slukinski. That they never gave up. Those guys played 4 games, never gave up more than a goal. And one and Carter George actually had a shutout too. So their goals against average is pretty low. It's a very small window there that with those stats. But we need to make a goalie move this year. You got Kemper, you have Forsberg, you have Portillo, and you got George and Slukinski, and you only have 4 spots. Somebody's got to go.
Yeah.
Somewhere. Are you going to take George or Slukinski and put him in an ECHL? I don't think so. It's either trade Portillo or they're going to have to trade either Kemper or Forsberg. And my bet is what I would do.
Kemper.
I would trade Kemper. I think you get more for him. You'd have teams that would want at least a really good backup. And then you could have Forsberg and Portillo battle it out.
And have George and Sukinski split.
1A, 1B in Ontario.
Not bad.
And then you're within a year or two, you're going to see one of them be the number one goalie.
Yeah.
If not a 1A, 1B eventually.
Well, I mean, Forsberg only has 1 year left.
Right. So does Kemper. But, I mean, they could trade him. We'll see what happens.
Or do they buy him out?
I would like to get an asset for him if we could. Even if it's
if you can't.
Well, you could buy out whoever you want to buy out, but I don't know. We'll see what happens. I'll let Ken Holland do his job.
All right. If you bought him out. Okay. So if you bought him out, I mean, I don't know if this really helps then. It would only cost you $4 million, like a little under $4.1 million this year. And then you'd only pay him $583,000 next year. Yeah, $583,000. Yeah. So you would save.
Is that all? I'll take it.
Yeah. So you would save $1.17 million this year on the, and then you would you're not saving anything the next year because you're still paying him.
Yeah.
But yeah, it has to be either Forsberg or Kemper traded. But for cap reasons, I would do Kemper.
Well, the other option is you trade Portillo and, you know, is he going to be an NHL goalie? We're still not really sure. He's been a pretty good AHL goalie when he's been healthy, but he's been injured a lot. So we'll see what happens. But are you ready to get out of here?
Yes, and I just want to say I'm USA.
Yeah.
USA moves on. They win the group after 2 games for the World Cup. I'm excited. They're playing well, and they did well without Pulisic last game.
Yeah, they did.
I only got to watch a little bit of the game because I was in La Cresta.
I saw some of the game. I didn't see all of it. I was watching it this morning a little bit because it was back on. You know, and Australia had some really good chances. And just
no, they did. And Australia's not a bad team. They're not. I think they were going to be our toughest competitor in this group. So I'm happy. Did you know that there's a chance that England and USA play against each other on 4th of July?
Ooh. Ooh.
There's a chance that could happen. So, I don't know. I have to look up the bracket because it's way different now because now they have 48 teams instead of 32.
So you're talking about like Revolutionary War 2. We won the first one, by the way.
Sure. If we could bring Tim on for that, he'll help us explain all that. But they'd be playing in Texas.
Ooh, that's hot.
Yeah. So they're saying that's actually works in USA's favor.
Okay.
So I just thought that was pretty fun. I was like, that would be fun to watch. And I'll be off that day, so I'll be able to watch it.
Cool.
So, but yeah, I am ready to get out of here. Anything you want to add before we get out?
Yeah. I just want to wish all the fathers out there a happy Father's Day. That's coming up tomorrow. It's a blessing to have children. I mean, I had hair when they were born. I don't have hair anymore, but I would still do it all over again.
All I can say is you had hair when I was born and for a little bit so I know it wasn't me.
I don't know. Some of those Some of those baseball games.
It's funny. I was telling Christina about those because she asked me like how I handled like people. I was like, me and my dad used to get into it a lot. And I'm like, but what he did to me did not work on Tim.
Oh God, no.
Yeah. And it took you a while to finally figure that one out with Tim. Mom had to really step in. But yeah, but Mom stepped in a lot between us, but then I played better. I will say I did play better. I'm like a Hulk. I play better when I'm angry for some reason.
Well, that last game, God, what was
AAA.
Yeah, Parker was pitching. He wasn't a pitcher. You'd struck out like twice against him. I kept trying to tell you what to do, and you didn't want to listen, and you were arguing with me. And Mom got tired of it and told me to shut up and go to the right field corner. And I heard her say to you, "Shut up. Your dad's right. Just do it." And you hit a ball.
Yeah. Nope, she did. I literally told Christina that same story. I want to say this last week.
Anyways, other than happy Father's Day, everybody.
Happy Father's Day to everyone. Yeah, all the fathers out there.
And all you Kings fans, let's stay royal and let's defend the crown.
And next week, we'll be able to talk about the first round of the draft.
Amen.
Yep, and I'll be on call next week.
Sorry.
It's all right. But all right, well, thank you, everyone. Make sure you follow us on all social media accounts. Please hit the like and subscribe button on YouTube if you haven't done so yet. You guys have been really great. I know we've been getting more and more subscribers every week. So thank you that. We really appreciate it. I hit my goal of 1,000 subscribers on Ducks Digest earlier this week. So thank you for that. Everyone that tunes into both shows, I appreciate every single one of you. And yeah, if you're not a YouTube person, you like Twitch more, follow us on Twitch, or we go live every Saturday, 10 a.m. Pacific time.
Amen.
So, all right, let's go Ducks.
Go Kings, go. See you next week.